If you want an ultra-wide angle zoom from Canon, it has to be the reasonably priced 17 to 40mm f4L or the not so reasonably priced 16 to 35mm f2.8L, which is one stop aperture faster and also 1mm wider. But there isn't really something if you want reasonably priced and 1mm wider. That is until now. They've got this 16 to 35mm f4L IS. So tasty, you'd want to bite somebody for it.
Oh, my teeth. My bloody teeth. Oh.
It's this one. Oh, bloody hell, my teeth. Got to see a dentist now. Previously, IS was something that was limited to the big, fat, shiny grey tele Canon lenses. This is a first for Canon ultra-wide angle zooms. For that, we should celebrate. But what is IS good for? IS is image stabilization. It's kind of misleading because it doesn't stabilize all kinds of images. It only stabilizes a certain type of frequency of movements. It's not supposed to work on slow, steady movements like panning. That would be poo if you wanted to pan and it cancels it out, right? And it doesn't work when you're on something that severely jolts you.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't really work with high frequency shakes, but unless you've got vibrators for hands, the IS is designed to work with the typical frequency of your typical shaky hands. But the question is, why would you want IS on an ultra-wide zoom? Well, yeah, IS is good for making sure your photos are sharp enough. Well, the 1635 f4 IS is pretty good for video as well. With ultra-wide angle lenses, you don't really see too much of the shakiness in the video, which is a good thing. But this has got IS as well. This is what it looks like with the IS off at the widest 16mm. And this is what it's like with the IS on. And then we add post-production stabilization. It looks like it was shot on a tripod, but it's actually lock pod. It seems like the ideal ultra-wide option for handheld video shooters, but it also lets you do cool stuff with stills too. You know, IS is useful for situations where you're not allowed a tripod, or maybe it's just not realistic. Tripods are heavy, you don't want to carry them around, especially if you're in a crossing and blocking everybody's path. Although I think we've done that before, so. 1 second shots have a high success rate with the IS. Yep, please stand still, man. You can do even longer than 1 second images too. You can create some cool time-lapse effects, in theory. Haven't tried it yet, by using slow shutter speeds. And the IS is just to make sure it's still. I wonder when he's going to move away. Oh, that was perhaps the most boring video we've ever made. Whee! Oh, let's go through the whole video. Oh, I can see lock in it. I can see locks. That's how wide it is. Lock stays perfectly still in this one, and you have to keep your camera in pretty much the same place. But apart from the IS, this lens is really quite superb, optically. There's a bit more vignetting wide open at the widest end with softness on the edges of the image, with significant improvements at f5.6, super sharp centre. The mid-range is uniformly brilliant from f4 and smaller. The tele end is just right, but overall this lens can do sharp better than the other two Canon ultra-wide angles. This is one of those lenses that, if you're looking for this kind of focal length range, this should be your first to consider. Before, if I was looking for a Canon ultra-wide angle zoom, I'd go for the 17 to 40mm, cheapish and bloody good. but now this is simply better, to the point that I wonder why anyone would even consider the 17-40mm f4. This is clearly the new, sensible choice.